What's going on, everyone? My name is Security Denied, and welcome back to the Average Gamer's Perspective on the TWID, also known as This Week in Destiny. This week in Destiny, we are just a few days away from our next expansion, The Edge of Fate. So how about we give you some more info about what's to come to ease the wait? We also have info about the next raid, including its name. Oh, okay. So check the topics below, and let's get this TWID started. The Edge of Fate is almost here, and our next raid is ... Rite of the Nine ends soon. Brief 002. Want to see the new artifact? Yes, please, I do. Armor mods updates. Let's go over all the incoming changes. Bungie store sales. Sweet. I'm excited about the raid info. The Edge of Fate is almost here. The Edge of Fate launches next week on July 15th, and not only does our next expansion for Destiny 2 arrive, it's also the start of both the Year of Prophecy and the beginning of our next long story arc for the franchise, the Fate Saga. Here's the trailer. We did it 2 twids ago if you want to go watch it. We are incredibly excited, and we can't wait for you all to start playing the new content. To help with the wait, this week we published a Dev Insight video covering some of the most intriguing aspects of the Edge of Fate. Here it is again in case you haven't watched it. If you are counting the days until the Edge of Fate, you are not alone. It's hard to believe only 5 more days remain. We are dying for you to experience it. Me too, I'm dying. Wander in the Desert Perpetual. Interesting. Is that the name of the raid? The Edge of Fate raid launches on Saturday, July 19th, and we have much to share about it. We are not spoiling anything today, just sharing its name, the Desert Perpetual. It's pretty sick. That's a pretty sick name. As is tradition by now, the raid will launch in contest mode, our hardest difficulty, and will be available for 48 hours. Those who look for eternal glory may want to compete in the world first race. The first fire team to complete the raid on contest mode will earn raid belts. We will share the final details on 7/17 TWID, along with the new raid emblems and more. World first race info. On July 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, hundreds of fire teams all around the globe will compete to become the world's first race winners, but only one team will make it and take home the coveted world first belt. We have some key details to help with your planning, including requirements for raid entry and updates to the world first race completion criteria. Details. Contest mode will be enabled for 48 hours from July 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific Time to July 21st at 9:59 a.m. Pacific Time. Completing the Edge of Fate campaign at Legendary difficulty will get you contest ready, or you may complete the campaign at normal difficulty and hunt for power before the raid goes live. We will provide exact power requirements prior to the launch. Stay tuned. Entry requirements. Completion of the Edge of Fate campaign. Completion criteria. Fire teams don't need to return to orbit to finish the race. The first fire team to finish every encounter and loot the final chest will be declared world first winners and have their victory immortalized with the Desert Perpetual World First raid belt. Similar to past raids, we will be working tirelessly with our analytics and security teams to maintain the integrity of the challenge and the raid. When the first completion happens, we will verify through our internal systems and tools before we announce the winning team on our social channels, and will then start our more thorough security review. We don't want to make everyone wait around while we dig into this data, but if we do find that any cheating or violations have occurred, we reserve the right to disqualify a team and crown the next fire team in line world's first, even after an announcement. Once a world first completion has been recorded, normal difficulty will go live. Players will have 48 hours to complete contest mode if they desire, or simply hop into normal mode once the race is complete. Full details on eligibility and requirements for the world first race, please visit our official rules. Watch the race. Players watching these accounts while the world first race is taking place will receive the Power Hues emblem as a Twitch drop. Last week for Rite of the Nine. It's the last week before the Edge of Fate, and that means it's also the last week for our dungeon-focused event, the Rite of the Nine, and for episode Heresy. You have just a few more days to earn gear, complete triumphs, and unlock the Eternal and Heretical title. For this final week, we have a few extra things going so you can earn the most out of the game. Daybreak is still active as a modifier, so you can go crazy using abilities and your super to defeat your enemies. Weapon drops and end of activity rewards have been increased once again, and during this last week. And don't forget about Xur. His will is not his own, but he brings gifts from the Nine. Last week, the Amazing Choir of One was available among his wares, so what other recent exotic So, what other recent exotic that will be part of the Edge of Fate featured gear will he bring this time? Go to his spot at the tower to discover it yourself tomorrow. The Ride of the Nine has been a unique experience, and we hope you enjoyed rediscovering Spire of the Watcher, Ghost of the Deep, and Prophecy, and earning shiny new gear while getting a look into what the Nine are planning, even if Orin still speaks in riddles, and what they said directly to you is, well, also pretty confusing. Don't forget your Bungie rewards. Celebrate your mastery within the Ride of the Nine by unlocking and claiming Bungie rewards now available on the Bungie store. All triumphs must be claimed in-game July 15th, 2025 at 9:59 a.m. PDT, and Bungie rewards must be purchased by August 19th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. I like it. That's pretty dope. Yeah, so go check out your Bungie rewards. Ride of the Nine tournament with Destiny Tracker. One final hurrah. Some of you may have participated last weekend in Destiny Tracker's Prophecy Dungeon speedrun competition. And this week we have more. From July 10th at 9 p.m. to July 12th at 9 p.m., Spire of the Watcher is the featured dungeon in Destiny Tracker speedrun contest, and we've clarified some of the rules to ensure it's a fair game for everyone. The goal of this challenge is for players in solo, duo, or full fire teams to complete the Spire of the Watcher dungeon on Eternity difficulty as quickly as possible, while avoiding any exploits, skips, or advanced movement techniques. All players should follow intended gameplay paths and mechanics. General rules. Follow intended paths. All fire team members must stay within the playable area, no out-of-bounds routes or ledge hopping to bypass mechanics. No skipping mechanics or encounters, all nodes must be connected, all enemies and bosses must be fought in their designated phases with no shortcutting encounters. No fireteam warping. Players may not leave and rejoin to skip travels, spawn checkpoints, or manipulate enemy triggers. Standard movement only. Players may use any movement ability that are part of their subclass kit, example, dodge, blink, Icarus dash, grapple. Movement techniques that rely on external gear interactions, such as using the Eager Edge to gain unintended momentum, are not permitted. Loadouts and subclasses are open. You may use any subclass weapons and armor, but their use must not create unintended skips or despawns. Player persistence. All fire team members must remain in the activity for the whole duration of the run. Leaving and rejoining, swapping classes or characters, or intentionally disconnecting is not allowed. The run must be completed with the same players from start to finish. The more granular rules around specific techniques and weapons, which can be viewed here. The Destiny Tracker team will also be performing manual reviews of the top runs to ensure no exploits are used. As we mentioned last week, by participating, you can win prizes such as silver, one of the 9 exclusive Starhorse-inspired headphone holders fabricated by Hench and Scrap, and a premium Ride of the Nine themed PC unit created by Overkill. Yep. Ooh, fancy living. That's pretty sick. Ride of the Nine. Well, I'm glad they got super big pictures compared to the super blurry ones that were in the last TWAB, or TWID, or whatever. The 9 Crown Emblem will be provided to all verified participants who have completed at least one run across either weekend via email by the Destiny Tracker team. Pretty basic emblem, but it's also pretty dope if you like it. For more information, visit the Destiny Tracker competition page here, blah 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 blah.com. Alright, Brief 002. Some lore. Guardian Operative. Dispatch contains restricted information for select fire teams and will purge its data upon closure. Combatant Corsair. Classification Elixni. House Exile Combatant. Unknown Fungal Symbiosis. Hazards: Flight, Aerial Maneuverability, Jet Exhaust Burst. Akimbo Scatter Pistols, Explosive Flight Pack. Intel: the Corsair is an aerial combatant using close-range weaponry and a highly maneuverable jump jetpack, which allows hovering and sustained flight. Guardian operatives report poorly shielded ignition coils could be a weak spot on the pack, causing a strong reactive ignition when stressed enough. Records pulled from the House of Exile systems, as well as Eido's records, indicate that Corsairs were a role created during the Long Drift as boarding parties and ship-to-ship raiders. While the other houses have deprecated this role, House Exile has not. I would expect a resurgence if jump jet tech reaches other houses. Skirmishes with House of Exile Corsairs describe them as using hit-and-run tactics to distract operators while Vandals with paracausal weaponry close in to neutralize Guardian threats. When engaging, fire teams are advised to overlay firing zones and stay mobile. Of note, Corsair jump jets run exclusively on fungal material as fuel. In the hierarchy of Elixni Station, Corsair serves somewhere alongside Vandals, with some being as revered as captains. It is a role where individuals can stand out and gain renown through daring deployments or become notorious through unscrupulous ventures. More lore next week. We learn more about the jetpack Vandals. Very sick. All right, the artifact is here. With a whole litany of system changes and the unexplored horizons of Kepler at Guardians' fingertips, the implement of Curiosity has been given to Guardians to help provide some well-deserved boosts to their capabilities while chartering these new frontiers. See what we did there? Yeah, I did. Sweet, there it is. We've seen it already before in videos. All right, the Edge of Fate artifact will provide some nice boosts for Guardian's Solar, Strand, and Stasis toolkits, while also letting them build into elemental pickup generation with some new payouts. Strand fans will be happy to see the return of Threaded Blast and the introduction of Tangled Web, turning Tangles into mini Wanderers when they're spawned and a massive Strand explosion when popped. On both sides of the thermal spectrum, we have some new Column 5 capstones mods in Radiant Shrapnel and Frigid Glare. Both offer some distinct crowd control options while keying off buffs you can acquire from Column 3's Fever and Chill. If Solar Strand and Stasis aren't your preferred cups of tea, the elemental pickup mods are here to help punch up your favorite way to slay out. All right, let's go over the artifact. Starting with Column 1, Anti-Barrier Scout and Pulse. Your equipped Scout Rifles and Pulse Rifles fire shield-piercing rounds and stun barrier champions. Unstoppable Sidearm and Hand Cannon, aiming down the sides of a hand cannon. We already know. Unstoppable Sidearm and Hand Cannon. Unstoppable Sniper Rifle. Overload Shotgun. Overload Rapid Fire. So that's like autos and submachine guns. Very interesting. I like I just like sniper rifles and anything with champion stuff. I like that they're linking sidearm and hand cannon together, scouts and pulse together still as usual. Yeah. I like these champions stuff. Column 2. Flame Fiber Freeze combines the Solar and Strand Solar and Stasis Siphon mods into one. Authorized mod scavengers. All scavenger mods are discounted. One with Frost. While Frost Armor is active, Stasis weapons gain increased reload speed and stability. Stasis swords gain increased guard resistance. Cool. Tightly Woven. While Woven Mail is active, gain increased class ability and grenade stats. I like this. Because I want to build this, I want to make a Strand build with Woven Mail as one of its main things. One of its main drawing points, I guess. So this will be a good one for my new build. Rapid Precision Rifling. Rapid precision hits or final blows with Scout Rifles grants them increased reload and reduced incoming flinch. Okay, that's pretty nice. Especially with the new exotic Scout Rifle coming out. I heard it's not great, but I know a lot of Scout Rifles got buffed, so especially a Stasis one that was exotic, and I forgot what it's called. Wicked Implement, I think it's called. So this could be good for that. All right, Fever and Chill. Rapid precision hits with solar weapons grant Radiant. Rapid precision hits with Stasis weapons grants Frost Armor. Okay, so again with Stasis stuff, but also solar stuff. So Polaris Lance, probably going to be coming back. Elemental Benevolence. Granting allies an elemental buff gives class ability energy. Frost Renewal. While you have Frost Armor, taking critical damage releases a burst that freezes nearby combatants and grants Frost Armor to you and nearby allies. Okay. So some survivability with some stasis. Reciprocal draw. Rapid non-sidearm final blows grant sidearms a period of increased damage for a short time upon next draw. Interesting. I'm interested to see the percentage of damage bonus that sidearms get. Refresh threads. Picking up an elemental pickup matching your subclass element or tangle while you have a strand super grants energy to your least charge ability. Okay. That's pretty good. Column 4. Threaded Blast. Destroying a tangle with strand damage increases the radius of the explosion and its damage. Very good for strand builds. It's like a nuclear bomb goes off. Cauterized Darkness. Stasis or strand debuff non-boss combatants take increased solar damage from all sources. I like how they're tying together, like how you need to have one in order to perk another. I like it. Elemental Daze. Stunning a champion with an elemental weapon creates an elementally aligned explosion, applying a matching elemental debuff to them and nearby targets. Cool. Shoulder to Shoulder. Dealing sustained precision damage against combatants while near 2 or more allies grants you damage resistance. Okay, so this is kind of playing into more of the I would say scout rifle. I feel like a lot of these mods are wanting you to use scout rifles in order to get more headshots and things like that. But I do like the damage resistance. That could be pretty nice, especially for the raid, I think. Elemental Coalescence. Defeating targets has the chance to create an elemental pickup matching your equipped super element. All right. Column 5. Radiant Shrapnel. Dealing sustained weapon damage while radiant or defeating a scorched combatant with a weapon causes the target to release solar projectiles that deal damage and scorch on impact. Very cool. Shield Crush. While you have Woven Mail Frost Armor or Void Overshield, your melee recharges faster and deals increased damage. While you are Amplified or Radiant, your grenade recharges faster and deals increased damage. Okay, that's fun. I like that they're also bringing in Arc and Void into this as well. Elemental Overdrive. Picking up an elemental pickup or tangle grants increased damage to weapons of the same element. Oh, very fancy. Tangled Web. Creating a tangle by defeating a strand debuff target suspends nearby combatants. Oh, I like this one. This is also going to be huge. That way, like, when you're creating a ton of tangles over and over and over again, you're going to be suspending them so you can actually, like, do stuff and go in and take the tangle or shoot it or whatever you need. Frigid Glare. While Frost Armor is active, Stasis Precision Final Blows cause combatants to release a freezing burst. That'll be pretty nice. I feel like there's going to be a lot of stasis chain reactions going on. I feel like with Hunters have a pretty good stasis build. Titans have a really good stasis build. Warlocks are kind of mid. Kind of meh. But yeah, so far a pretty good artifact. I think there's going to be a lot of changes and a lot of fun builds that are going to come out because of this. So very good. Armor mod changes. Hi all, Sandbox team here once again, one more time. With all the changes coming into the Sandbox and Edge of Fate, we found that there were a few armor mods that needed attention to better fit into the new system. So let's talk about them. First, with the introduction of the new ammo meter system, we've done a pass on various ammo-related parts of the Sandbox. For example, we've replaced the inventory stat on weapons with the new ammo generation stat, which affects how much a given weapon contributes to the ammo meters, and selected specific fixed or minimally variable ammo inventory values for each weapon type. This includes or impacts various armor mods, so we've given them a tuning pass. Ammo finders now improve contributions to the corresponding meter. Example, special finder increases special meter gains and can stack. Reserves mods on chest armor have been deprecated and replaced with ammo generation mods, which improve the ammo generation stat of weapons matching their damage type and can stack. Scavenger mods will continue to work as before and continue to be disabled in the Crucible and cannot stack. Scout mods have been deprecated. See ya! which is kind of nice though, because I feel like every single build I have needed that for PvE. So I'm glad that that's just gone and it's now tied into our weapons instead. In addition to ammo related changes, some other armor mods have gotten some adjustments to account for the stat changes coming with Armor 3.0. First, we have some basic stat mods. Armor mods that influence stats, such as the +10 stat mods, artifice mods, and font mods, have been converted to use the Armor 3.0 stats. Basic armor stat mods now all have the same mod energy cost. All +10 stat mods now cost 3 energy, and all +5 stat mods now cost 1 energy. Since their value is heavily tied to the value of the stat they grant, font mods have historically been ineffective compared to other options. However, in internal playtest, the Armor 3.0 stat rework catapulted them to complete dominance. Even with this adjustment, these mods remain notably more potent than they were prior to the Edge of Fate, as they are one of the only ways to push beyond the stats available on the armor alone. Reduce the benefit granted by the font armor mods from +30, +50, +60 for 1, 2, 3 stacks to +20, +40, +50. Okay, so a little bit of nerf with that, but it makes sense with all the armor changes. With the release of Edge of Fate, the player-facing mobility stat will be deprecated, while each Guardian will have its effects set to a base value, the equivalent of 30 mobility for Titans and Warlocks and 40 for Hunters. Guardians that preferred to stay a little more mobile needed a more flexible way to access those effects. Added a new Legs armor mod, Enhanced Athletics, which increases your base movement speed and jump for 1, 2, 3 stacks, provides the equivalent of +30, +50, +60 of the previously available mobility stat. Okay, that's pretty nice. It gives specifically Titans and Warlocks a better way to increase their mobility stat if they want it. So, but nobody wants that. Note: additional mobility bonuses provided as part of some other effects, such as the amplified effect and lightweight frame weapons, will continue to boost movement speed and jump height as they have previously. The new version of the mobility stat has a higher upper limit than it currently does in live, allowing you to stack up to 130 points instead of the previous cap of 100. So you can gain additional benefits from multiple sources in ways that were not possible pre the Edge of Fate. I like that change. I think it'll be better for people who want to up their mobility as much as possible and know that there are some weapons that can affect that. It's good to know that they can push beyond that limit and gain the benefits from those things, which is very cool. The leg armor mod recuperation has been a mainstay across the game for quite a while now, owing to its nearly unconditional benefit to survivability. While essential for the survivability of certain builds, its nature as a must-pick option has reduced the amount of space other legs mods have to thrive. With the Armor 3.0 stat rework, this need for a subclass agnostic healing source is now covered by the health stat, let alone the many other tools such as the weapon perk heal clip introduced in Season of the Witch, or some of the new set bonuses coming with the Edge of Fate. Our goal is for recuperation to remain a helpful pick for more aggressive subclasses and builds without other accessing to healing, or for players who want to save their armor stat for more flashy options. However, its current impact on one of the most fundamental problems Guardians face does not match its low cost, so we've reduced its impact. We'll be keeping an especially close eye on this change throughout the Edge of Fate to ensure that it's having the intended effect, rather than invalidating builds that rely on its effect to function. Reduce the healing granted by collecting an Orb of Power with the Recuperation Armor mod equipped from 70 to 15. Pretty big nerf, but hopefully it kind of balances everything else out a little. All right, everything we have talked about with that artifact preview and armor mod changes sections, we have completed the list of topics we wanted to talk about before the Edge of Fate launched. Many topics have been covered in the latest weeks, so we thought a general reminder with a few links here could be helpful. All right, here's the Edge of Fate Year Prophecy reveal cap, some post-reveal answers. We shared previews from content creators. Iron Banner and Gambit in the Edge of Fate are getting hacked for a little bit. Additive melee damage and exotic armor tuning, Armor 3.0 abilities, balance pass, and season pass updates, the portal, the new hub for activities, weapons power, and economy updates. Talked a lot about a lot of things. All right, Bungie Day sales. Celebrate Bungie Day with the Bungie Day sales at the Bungie store. Take advantage of exciting savings in the Fateful Deals category to catch up on your Bungie rewards with flat rate shipping. If you haven't picked up the Nerf limited edition Destiny 2 Ace of Spades blaster, now's your chance to take 10% off. If your Oryx and Crota plush are feeling a little lonely, Savathun and Starhorse are on the Bungie store. And for the Destiny collectors, take advantage of retired rewards to pick up Bungie rewards you might have missed. Retired rewards eligibility requirements must have been completed by the original earned by date to be eligible for this promotion. $7 flat rate shipping is valid on all orders placed from July 7, 2025 at 10 a.m. Pacific time through July 15, 2025 at 9:59 a.m. Pacific Standard ground shipping service within the continental US, EU, and UK only. Bungie Day Emblems update. We have a quick update to our current emblem offering when making a purchase on the Bungie store. Good, because I heard a lot of complaints about this, how it kind of felt like gambling, and they kind of just had like a drop chance when getting these emblems. So I hope the change coming up in a couple seconds is a good one. Any purchase on the Bungie store during the Bungie Day sale, 10 a.m. Pacific time July 7th to 9:59 a.m. Pacific time July 15th, will be eligible to receive all 6 promotional emblems with purchase, including the Knit One Per One store emblem. With this change, any customer who has already made a purchase on the Bungie store will retroactively be sent these emblems. Huge. That's actually a pretty big change. So now if you buy something, you get all of them. Big change. Very nice. It's also nice for all those that purchased something and didn't get the one that they wanted. So I think that's very nice. Very nice of them. These emblems will be sent by July 11th, 2025 to the email associated with your Bungie store purchase. Stay tuned for updates. Anomalous Signal, Between the Stars, Hugin's Trove, Lockbox, Threads of Light, Through the Heart. All right, Bungie Day 2025 campaign update. We're just 4 days into our Bungie Day campaign, and we've already joined together to raise more than $400,000 to support communities in need. Guardians are once again proving their compassion knows no bounds, and their commitment to making a dent in the universe is in their DNA. Thank you for the amazing start, and know that we are just getting started. Along with the launch of Edge of Fate on July 15th, we'll be adding additional incentives, including a helping hand emote, the Steadfast Column shader, as well as a Foundation-themed weapon ornament for the explosion-inducing exotic hand-cannon Sunshot available in the Eververse. So there's that. Here's this cool shader, very green. Our 7th column Chaos PvP tournament is in full swing with some epic matches already going down and a full slate of chaos on deck for this weekend. Make sure you're following the Bungie Foundation socials channels for updates on matches and highlights as the chaotic tournament continues. Let's keep the momentum going and continue to shine our light where it's needed most. Then here's that Sunshot ornament. It looks pretty good. Very plain. Not very sunshotty, but it's themed correctly. All right, Twitch Summer of Drops. We fixed an issue with the Pixel Perfect emblem not showing up in collections after players have gifted a sub in Destiny 2 category on Twitch. You can continue to gift sub safely to receive your emblem. Please proceed to the special orders kiosk to redeem it. You have until 12 a.m. Pacific time on July 15th to gift a sub in the Destiny 2 category to receive a Pixel Perfect emblem. Very good emblem. We talked about it last time. All right, and that is the entire TWID. Some cool changes. I like how they're making it easier to access some things. I like the change with the purchasing of the emblem for the donation thing that they got going on. Good change for the community. The raid, friggin', where is it? The Desert Perpetual. It sounds pretty cool. It sounds very ethereal. I'm interested to see what it is. I'm excited to see the trailer that they're probably going to launch next week, right before the raid on Saturday. So could be good. It could be very interesting to sit and watch. I have a wedding reception to go to next week, so I will not be watching. I'm excited to see what everyone's thoughts are on it and how it goes. So yeah, here's all the info on who you could watch and when. But yeah, lots of cool things to look forward to. We're only a couple days away from the Edge of Fate, so who knows what's gonna happen. But yeah, that's gonna be the This Week in Destiny Average Gamer's Perspective. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It lets me know that you're watching and that you're enjoying the content. So thank you very much for all those who have done so already. But yeah, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye!